Hello, my name is djack of Jack Fundamentals LLC. I'm a Gallup Certified Strengths Performance Coach, which in its most simplest terms means that I help people learn what their talents are and then help them develop and craft those talents into strengths. Today I want to do a video about execution finish, and this is specifically more for managers, and I want to just talk a little bit about some of the things that go into helping your direct reports achieve the goals and meet the expectations that you are laying out for them. One of the big reasons I want to do this video is because I've been watching the Olympics. I've been glued to the TV, I've been glued to my phone, I've been watching these amazing athletes do all sorts of amazing things. And there's going to be images, there's going to be video clips, there's going to be things that are etched in our memories for years about these moments that these athletes achieve at the highest level. And I think that it's the perfect image that managers need to be bringing to their direct reports when you have expectations for them. Because there's going to come a moment where the results come in. There's going to be a moment where they either did it or they didn't do it. And if you've got really big, aggressive goals for your direct reports, these moments need to be cherished, or they need to be deliberated on effectively. And so part of having this execution finish is being able to know how to prepare for these results to come in. And so when you're watching the Olympics, whether you're talking about fingers touching the end of the pool, you're talking about the outstretched chest at the end of the finish line, or the beautiful, strong, stable finish at the end of a gymnastics routine, all of those moments are the culmination of a lot of preparation, a lot of hard work, a lot of just commitment to the end goal. And that image is where these sorts of things, the 5.5 C's I'm going to be going over, come into play. So as a manager, in my opinion, you're going to be one part participant and you're going to be one part coach yourself. And so the people you're managing need and deserve the adequate support and adequate resources to be able to have expectations when it comes time to execute and bring in the results. Some of the questions that I want managers that I'm working with to be able to say yes to are things like, have you chosen the right person for the implementation of the idea or the plan that you're wanting them to achieve in? Have you provided correct and relevant training so that they are actually knowledgeable and ready and have the skills needed to reach a goal? Does the person you're working with and directly reporting to you, are they feeling supported and do they feel like you're rooting for them? Are you prepared to celebrate, critique, or both when the results do come in? Is there a proper balance between development and accountability between you and your team members? Only when these things are a yes, when these answers are a very clear yes, are you really ready to have expectations. If the answers to those questions aren't yes, you're leading with simply authority. You're a boss. If you are answering yes to these questions, you're much more likely to be leading with influence in being a leader. So I really want to talk about some of these things and what they mean. Do you have the right person for the task? Are you correctly and adequately training? Is there support? Are everyone prepared for the results, whether they're going to be good or bad? These are the things that help you balance between development and just simply accountability. So let's jump right into the 5.5 C's. Choose, create, clarify, check in, celebrate, / critique. These are the things as a manager you need to be able to do in preparation for the results. If you are saying, we need to meet this goal we've never met before, these things have got to be in place, or the chances of you meeting that big goal is much less likely to happen. So, choose the right person, choose the right partnership, choose the right team members. Get the right people in place before you even start thinking about what the expectations are. Talk to them. Do you feel like the person you are choosing is adequately prepared by skill, by talent, by ability, by previous experience? those things need to be talked about with them. They need to agree with you as the manager. If you think that this person's got a lot of potential and they don't see it, sit down and have a developmental coaching session with them. Get them ready. Get them fired up to be able to think that they're able and that they can clearly see themselves being successful in the current goal. Number 2, create. Sit down and create a plan with them. Go through it together. Ask questions like, do you have what it takes? Do you have the things that you need? What sorts of supports are you going to need? What can I do to help? Who do you need around you? Those sorts of things help create the plan that is going to be needed in preparation for the results. So if you're going to do something new, sit down and ask them, what sorts of things are you worried about? Where do you think that you're going to struggle? Where do you think you're going to excel? Create a plan together and have very clear expectations. There shouldn't be any need to wonder what those expectations are. And that's what I mean by clarify. Clarify with the members or the member of your team that is going to be carrying out the grunt work of meeting these goals. So make sure that at the day that the results come in, they know if they've made it, you know if they've made it, anybody involved knows that they've made it. There shouldn't be any guesswork here. It should be very, very clear. Clarify with them what you expect. Let them clarify with you what they are able to do and not able to do, and be prepared to work those kinks out well before you ever set the expectation. Number 4, check-ins. Have moments throughout the process of reaching the goals where they get to check in, where you're checking in on them, so that if anything unforeseen shows up to push a deadline back, or certain things that show up that completely change the results that should be expected in any way, there's clear communication and open communication about those sorts of things. Say you're going to have a 3-month process in reaching a goal, maybe having weekly check-ins to say, hey, how's it going? Maybe it's a very task-intensive kind of result that you're seeking. So there's going to be a lot of small steps within the process of reaching a big goal. Make sure that there are times scheduled. These aren't just, hey, check in with me when you can. Make sure it's on a calendar. So if it's a 3-month process and it's going to be weekly, is it every Wednesday at 9 o'clock in the morning? Is it every Tuesday at 3 o'clock? If they don't want weekly, they want it to be almost daily, because there's going to be a lot of things up front going on. So in the beginning, they're going to say, check in with me daily for the first 3 weeks, and then we can go to weekly. If it's something that is much less task intensive and it's a lot of things that go into place thought-wise, brainstorming-wise, maybe monthly, just make sure that the person that you're working with, or the group that you're working with as a manager, all have the same check-in mindset, and that they know when those check-ins are, when they're scheduled, and know if they came in or they didn't come in. This could be a phone call, you could walk by their office, you could send them an email, whatever's most comfortable for you and the member or members. Just make sure that those check-ins are scheduled. Don't leave them up for chance. 5.5, celebrate/critique. Whether results come in that are good or bad, there are things to celebrate and there are things to critique. So if you made a big, huge goal and you had several people working on it and they all worked really, really hard and the goal was met, celebrate with them. Let them know what they did well. Ask them prior, what sorts of things are important to you when celebrating. Some people like a party. They like an afternoon where they just get to sit and chill and have some food and just sit and talk with people. Other people, they're not really geared that way. They'd really like for you to specifically tell them what parts they were really great at, what ideas that they come up with that were incredibly unique, and the ways that they very specifically as an individual contributed to the goals. Some people may work for a day off. They may work for time with their family. They may work for extra pay or compensation. But whatever it is, know how they celebrate and know what motivates them. There are certain things that motivate some that don't motivate others. You as the manager need to know what those are. And also critiquing. Many managers, when you look at some of the research, being able to do both of these really well is something that is rarely found in managers. But it's something that you can develop some skills around. So when you're critiquing, how are you critiquing? Are you critiquing very short, sweet, and to the point? That may work for some, that may not work for others. How you provide developmental feedback and very specific feedback is going to be tailored specifically to the individual as well. So being able to do both of these great as a manager is going to set you apart. And there's a lot of different things that can go into that. But those are the two C's that I really think encapsulate how the result finish really needs to be talked about. So when you look at these 5.5 C's, what they do is they provide both consistency and flexibility, which again is a difficult thing to kind of pull off. But the consistency comes from, we're going to go through the 5.5 C's before each goal. Each time we set our quarterly benchmarks, we're going to go through these 5 C's. You're going to sit down with your individual, you're going to sit down with your team, and you're going to go through them. That creates consistency. It creates that culture of execution where everybody knows what's expected, they know that they're supported, they know the right people are doing the right things at the right time, and people start to create a comfort and a confidence when this execution finish is a part of the culture. The flexibility comes in when you sit down and you tailor each of these 5.5 C's to the particular person that you're working with, so that everybody feels like their unique talents and strengths and abilities have been accounted for. They know what they're supposed to do, they know that they're able to do it, they know they've got somebody they can check in with, and they really feel like you are participating with them and you're also coaching them with the celebrations and the critiques. So being able to maintain the 5.5 C's acts as consistency and as flexibility. And so these are just a few of the things that you can prepare your team for achievement with. Thank you for watching the video. Thank you for the support. If you have any questions, you can email me at djack, jackfundamentals.com, djack at jackfundamentals.com. Thank you so much, and I hope to hear from you soon.